This is the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 6-inch monitor. It's lightweight at 245 grams, has a full HD touchscreen, a foldable screen hood, and it has an array of different menu systems. And Feelworld very kindly sent me this model to test out, but of course, all opinions contained within this video are that of my own, and with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So one of the most obvious benefits to having an external monitor like this is of course having that larger screen size, making it easier for you to shoot your video productions or photos. And the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 has a 6-inch touchscreen. It outputs a full HD, that's 1920 by 1080 resolution, and it has a 16:9 aspect ratio and provides about 450 nits of brightness. So what exactly did you get out of the box? Let's find out. Okay, so here we are in the unboxing part of the video. I'm just gonna slide this amazing box apart. Okay, so straight away we are greeted with instructions. I've got a user manual. Here is my screen. Here is the Feelworld screen, just in there, lovely. What else do we have in the box? For that, I have screen cover. It's Velcro. Yeah, it will be something like that. And this will clip on. You have your screen there with your hood. Inside we have our HDTV2 micro cables. This will work with the Canon R6 as an example. You get the mount as well, so you can mount this onto your screen. You just screw this in like so, and then this will sit on your hot shoe mount on your camera. What else do we have in here? We have like a little wrench tool, and we have the USB-C to standard USB. Oh, and that's what you get out of the box. So what are the ergonomics of this monitor actually like? So here I just want to peel off this screen protector. So everything is made from plastic. The buttons do feel quite plasticky on the top, but nonetheless, I feel like this is still pretty robust. So what do we actually have in terms of the ergonomics here? Well, first of all, what you will notice is there are several mounting options. So we have our top mounts, our side mounts, and also we have a bottom mount. So we could mount it upside down if we need to, maybe if we're using it on a gimbal or in an awkward position. You should be able to control this primarily from the touchscreen, but if you wanted to, there are top mounted buttons that you can see here. If we look on the side here, we have our HDMI in and HDMI out. We also have this 12-volt DC in if you want to power it externally. If you want to power it via a battery, you can use these batteries here. These are the NP F970 batteries or NP F950, and they slot in the top here. Hit the button on the side here to eject your battery. Also, you'll notice that there is a mounting plate here, so you can put things on there like your wireless video transmitter. But also Feelworld sent me a light, so you can actually plug your light on. You can pop your battery back in, and now you've got a light on the back of your screen that you can turn on, and it's powered by the monitor battery. Another great feature is this DC out, where you can actually power your camera from this battery out of the monitor into your camera if you need that extra battery juice. You'll also notice on the underside here that there's an input for your headphones if you want to listen to the audio coming through, and you have a DC in. You can also power up your unit directly from a power pack, as you can see here. So that's just a quick overview of the ergonomics of the F5 Pro, how it feels, and what kind of mounts and placements you have. As mentioned before, the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 is marked at around 450 nits of brightness, so not as bright as some other monitors out there in the marketplace. It's workable for outside videography and photography, and also you get this handy little hood that you can stick onto the screen and makes it a little bit more easier to view in bright sunny conditions. Another benefit for using the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 is being able to position the monitor for better viewing. For example, I can mount this really easily to the mounting arm on my camera hot shoe, as you can see here on my Canon M50, but also it mounts really easily on things like gimbals like my Ronin S, and this model is especially great because of its low weight. And this is a great place to mention that if you haven't done so already, go and add yourself to the KaiCreative Facebook and Instagram accounts to stay up to date with all of our creative happenings. So at this junction, let's very quickly jump through the menus that are available to you on the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 monitor. So here we are looking at the options that you have on the monitor. And straight away, one of the things I like is if you scroll up or down, just on the left-hand side of the screen, you can control the backlight. So get the full 450 nits of brightness or bring it all the way down. We're in light controlled environment, so we can bring this down probably to about 50. If we go to the right hand side of the screen and scroll up and down, we can actually control the volume. If we double tap the screen, we can see that we have all of our menus, and we're going to go through all of these menus so you know what's available. The very first option is having all the waveforms on. You can double tap that turns on all your waveforms. It gives you your waveforms, your vector scope, your histogram, all on the screen at the same time. Now, if you don't want that, double tap that screen again, turn off all waves. You can turn them on individually. So I'll turn on my waveform first. So I've got my RGB at the bottom here. I can also scroll through and get things like luminance. See my vector scope over here, turn it off. My histogram, again, I've got RGB1. I've got luminance, and again, RGB2. Focus assist on. You can see what is on focus on your screen, and here you can also change the color. So the peaking color is currently green. I can set that to blue. So whatever's in focus will be blue, or I can set it to red. So depending on what colors are in my scene, I can change this. And also down here, we have embed audio, so you can see the audio levels. So if we scroll up here, we'll see that there are extra options, and one of them is false color. So if you want to expose for the skin tones, false color is very useful to be able to make sure that you can do that correctly. Coming over now to our second menu, this is with our grids and our lines. Turn the 9 grid on, and generally this is the type of grid that a lot of filmmakers like to use just to make sure that you're following the rule of thirds. You've got the 80% framing, 90%, 96. You can put your center marker on, 4:3 ratio, 13:9 ratio, 14:9, 15:9, 16:9. So if you're doing like a short movie or something and you want that specific ratio, this is very useful to have. And then you can change the color of your grid, and then mark width as well. You can change the thickness of the lines and modify the marks over here. We also have additional options down here, such as brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, and tint. Next up on the menu system is aspect ratio. If you want to see it in a specific aspect ratio, you can do that. We can flip our image if we want to, horizontally, vertically. If we have this mounted on a gimbal or something, and we don't want to remount, perhaps we could just flip the image very quickly. Now we can go to LUTs. So for example, we have a LUT on at the moment, and actually I'm shooting on the M50. It's not a LUT, but it's shooting in a neutral picture style. And what we've seen this whole time, in fact, is I didn't actually turn this off, but the LUT was on originally. So we had this vivid LUT, and it's actually log C. So I'm assuming that's C log. You've got S log 2, S log 3, and V log. You can also import LUTs, I believe, into this as well if you want to. So I'm just going to turn my LUT off. That's kind of how I should have started. And you can play around with the color temperature as well, just to highlight different colors, the RGB values. You can also control your backlight from here, but the swiping up and down is probably a lot easier. Coming on here, we have the key left volume. You have your language, OSD, trans, OSD, time, no signal, black screen, different options for your settings. And here you can assign functions to the F1 and F2 buttons at the top of the monitor. So that's just a quick rundown of using the on-screen options that are available to you on the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 monitor. One of the gripes that I do have with the F5 Pro V4 is that it doesn't work that well with the dual pixel autofocus functionality on the Canon cameras. So it doesn't pipe through the areas that you touch that you want in focus. So you will find yourself going back to using the manual focus more and more, which is fine because you have the focus peaking lines, but it does mean that you do need to work. It does, however, work very well with the eye tracking so that you can see that your face is in focus if you're filming a talking head video like this one. Also for me, having the audio levels piped through and visible is a massive plus. Making sure that I'm getting that audio come through is obviously very important. False color is another important piece of functionality, particularly if you're shooting people for interviews. You generally want to expose for the skin tones, and having false color on there will definitely help you with that. Another bonus of having a larger screen is being able to show clients footage or photos that you've taken. Now, I've mentioned this before in other video reviews where I've said that this is a bonus, but as we know, a client who constantly wants to see stuff that you've just shot can be a little bit of a distraction. So having an external monitor on a project can be a little bit of a double-edged sword. But if you're making a film where people need to gather around and make sure that you've got the right take, then having an external monitor will allow you to quickly review your shots and ensure that everyone is happy. Overall, this is a fantastic little 6-inch touchscreen monitor that has a super handy feature that allows you to power other devices like wireless HDMI units or lights from its dummy Sony MPF battery. So how much will one of these handy little monitors set you back? Well, at the moment, I haven't seen any of these released on Amazon just yet, but based on previous models, I'm guessing it's going to be about $199 thereabouts, probably around 160, 170 pounds in the UK. What I've done is I've left an official link down in the description box below so that you can go and check this out. Hopefully you'll be able to see the price for your region on there soon. So what do you guys think of the Feelworld F5 Pro V4 6-inch monitor? Do you already use an external field monitor? If so, which one and for what reasons? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I hope you found today's video useful. If you did, don't forget to give us a like. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell button for notifications. So that's it from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. All that I've got left to say is stay creative, stay safe, imagine, implement, and inspire. And I will catch you next time on KaiCreative.